Booyaka booyaka! Funk It Pod. Welcome to Wrestling Wednesday here for the Funk It Podcast. Glad you made it, glad I made it, glad we can talk wrestling again. And what a week in wrestling it was, wasn't it? Well, partly, right? And it's kind of unbelievable and stupid on my part, but I didn't plan to discuss NXT on this podcast. Developmental brand, even though, yeah, it's the official third brand and so on. But I should change that, right? Because TakeOver was really good and by far the best product that WWE put out this week. And Adam Cole, baby, what? My heart broke. But yeah, maybe I have to add NXT in the future and should get rid of SmackDown or Raw. I think the choice would be easy right now. I will consider that. But well, if you haven't watched it, watch TakeOver. Easy, the best WWE product of the week. Let's just see which product we have to get rid of in this podcast. And let's look at SmackDown first, and then after that we check out Raw, and then of course at the end AEW Dynamite. So let's start with SmackDown, and of course if we say SmackDown, we have to say Mysterio versus Corbin, because that's just what we do. This time with like a quick setup, we got King Corbin and Sami Zayn versus Double Mysterio. And when it looked like the Mysterios would finally get a win over King Corbin, after he got a 619 by both Mysterios, then of course Sami Zayn helluva kick and gets the victory. After that, Sami Zayn, like an impassioned speech, and he's really good at that, right? Like this it's like a nothing match, and he gives like a speech, like a promo, like it meant the world to him. And Sami Zayn is awesome. The match itself wasn't bad because I mean everybody involved is kind of decent, even King Corbin. No offense, but it's just getting really, really, really boring. So I don't want to see any more Mysterio versus Corbin matches. It's just really boring by now. We then had Big E versus Shinsuke Nakamura, and man, Shinsuke Naks can't catch a break. Like, I remember when he arrived and he was the biggest thing going on, and then like, man, he's so good, he's so charismatic, his entrance could be amazing, and then like, and here, of course, they didn't go for like a straight up match, right? I mean, Shinsuke showed a few things, which was nice, but eventually we all knew it would happen. I was about to say Austin Creed. Apollo Creed with the interference dropkick to Big E, and then the eventual real heel turn now. DQ, that was okay for what it was, but man, Shinsuke, really, I would like to see him in a few more real matches. Then the Messiah came back, and he didn't ditch the Messiah gimmick. So everyone was like, man, when Rollins comes back, maybe he gets a fresh restart or something, or he can ditch the gimmick and go back to like his old Rollins persona or whatever. But no, he doubles down on the freaking Messiah gimmick. First, the whole locker room is outside, like for whatever reason, did not make any sense. Then they're all walking out on him. Okay, I understand what they try to do, but there was no reason for them to be out there anyways. Cesaro sticks around for whatever reason, to be polite or something. Then Cesaro walks out, and then Rollins attacks him. Then Deep Rye comes out and for the save and so on. But this Rollins thing, they blew it. I mean, they could have like Rollins return, like that could have been so big, so meaningful, and then they keep rolling with that Messiah BS. Seriously, just annoying. We had Bayley versus Liv Morgan then, which was interesting. Billie Kay, of course, was out there then again. Eventually would lead to a distraction, of course, then so that Bayley could get the win. That was also like, yeah, it was okay for what it was, but the Street Profits versus the Alpha Academy was a little bit better because they're all really good wrestlers, and like Otis and Chad Gable sounds a bit weird in the beginning, right? But they both have like this wrestling pedigree to some extent, and that was kind of fun. One of the better matches, actually, I think, of this week's episode. Yeah, in the end, the Street Profits pick it up, but there was a nice back and forth and so on. So, and it makes sense that the Street Profits win in this case. I really hope Chad Gable gets more shine though in the future. Of course, all we do is not win, but tag team matches. And of course, we had another tag team match of the Dirty Dogs versus Cesaro and D-Bry. That was the match again that I could watch like just all the time, right? Like this D-Bry, Cesaro in a match, and even against whoever, doesn't matter. And Rude and Ziggler, certainly really good opponents there. I could have watched that forever. That was awesome. That's why you watch. You can see I'm getting excited. That's why you watch wrestling, because they are really good wrestlers, and it was just fun to watch. Yes. Then I'm a lot right now because I'm trying to structure it in my head what happened next. Because then when we had the submission victory by a sharpshooter for Cesaro, then Jay Uso came out to attack him with a chair. Then Corbin and Zayn came out. Zayn took out Corbin eventually. Then Kevin Owens comes out and just goes stone cold on all of them. Like, stunner, stunner, stunner. And then he says, like, he's coming for Reigns. That was a great match. And the Owens thing at the end was also kind of cool because Owens is just awesome at selling those things and delivering stunners. The beer was missing, but besides that, it was cool. The best thing definitely came last year at SmackDown. In the beginning, it was really a bit boring and repetitive and not up to par to the previous shows over the last few weeks, I believe. It recovered at the end, though, because Owens is SmackDown. Let's see where this goes. I would say 75% disappointed. The last 25 kind of made it a little bit better, acceptable. But still better than Monday Night Raw. Who would have thought that? Even a bad episode of SmackDown is better than almost any episode of Raw. And why? Here's why. Sorry, Simon Miller. We start with The Miz being like all badass and like bragging and stuff, and Miz TV with Drew McIntyre. And of course, it had to lead to Drew McIntyre attacking The Miz, obviously. It happened completely predictable, nothing special, super annoying. 6-man tag team match then, Riddle and the Lucha House Party versus the Hurt Business. I'm still not a big fan of like random tag teams like Riddle and the Lucha House Party. Yeah, I mean, I understand how, but still, wasn't bad, wasn't great. Yeah, it was there, right? It was there. If I would grade it, C- or so, I don't know. It was there. It's not fail, but it wasn't. Oh God! Speaking of failing, so then backstage segment, and we can see that Akira Tozawa being there, and he's pinning R-Truth. And then, of course, I'm just to make sure I don't say that wrongly here. I have it in my notes because it was weird. So backstage, Tozawa pinning Truth, becoming a 24/7 champion. But then eventually, Bad Bunny becomes the champion. So Bad Bunny actually pins Tozawa. Of course, via interference and so on. Tozawa being pushed into the container or something and then being down and out, and just Bad Bunny just picking up the cheap win. Cut here. But still, it's kind of weird. But I mean, they're going to run with it right now, of course. Yeah, because Bad Bunny is a famous celebrity, famous musician and so on. Congratulations, I guess. Well, let's see if we have. If it can't get any worse, right? WWE Creative is like, hold my. I don't even think they drink beer, whatever. Whatever Vince is taking. Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Two of the best women's wrestlers ever, probably. Versus Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. Two decent women's wrestlers, I'm guessing, right? Good ones, definitely. ends in a no contest. Why? Because Lacey Evans claims to be pregnant. So says, you can touch me, I'm pregnant. And this, of course, implies that Ric Flair is the father-to-be. And Ric Flair goes all crazy, jumping around. How am I supposed to explain to anyone why I'm watching wrestling? That was like one of the biggest FUs in recent history by WWE Creative to its fans. Like, yeah, I might just really not watch next time. Like, what the? Oh my God, that was ridiculous. You, WWE, seriously. Asuka. Okay, we then also got a match, actually. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. If Kingston wins, he's in the Elimination Chamber. If Miz wins, John Morrison gets in the Elimination Chamber. In the end, Kingston picks up the win. They're decent at working with each other, right? They know each other well over the years and so on. So that was a decent match. Did not make up for the BS right before. But the match itself was okay. Yeah, probably. I mean, The Miz probably sets up some cash in or whatever, right? That's what everyone expects right now. Let's see about it. It might be too obvious, but let's see. Then in the end, we had Alexa Bliss warning Randy Orton, of course, because you don't mess with her or the Fiend. And we had Lana versus Shayna Baszler, and after Lana took out Nia last week, still the best thing about Raw in the last month. Better than the whole show this week. Shayna Baszler destroyed her. Submission victory. Like, why do we keep doing this? It's just ridiculous. And then the last match was on the Gauntlet match. Winner of all the Elimination Chamber participants, the winner gets to join the chamber last. And that was decent. Because, I mean, it's all good wrestlers involved there. Was a bit weird that Sheamus and McIntyre went like kind of 50-50 at the end. Like, why wouldn't Sheamus go all heel after he went or turned heel on McIntyre before? Like, But okay, Sheamus won, gets the right to enter the chamber last, which means he's not going to win. Also, cool that we saw all 6 of them fighting this week, right before we see all the 6 fighting again in the chamber. WWE, if you need creative help, right, I'm here. Just say something. Like, those 3 guys here in my background could write a better script for Raw than you have right now every week. It's not even infuriating anymore. It's just sad. Yeah, well, that was Raw, and I'm glad it's over. And I'm only gonna if I watch it, I'm gonna watch it on fast forward and just skip all the BS now. It's ridiculous. At least we got AEW Dynamite, right? Another wrestling show, a good wrestling show this time, hopefully. Well, let's see. This week started with Hangman Adam Page and Matt Hardy. Maybe a good one, versus the Hyper 2 with Angelico and Jack Evans, one of the best tag teams ever since Lucha Underground. They were awesome then, are awesome now, but of course they had to lose to Matt Hardy and Hangman Adam Page. And in the end, Matt Hardy talks like, yeah, we're gonna make all this money, and when you win, I get 30% of all your earnings, blah blah blah. And then Hangman says, check out the contract we signed last time. And then the mascot brings out the contract where it says like, hey, there's going to be a fight at Revolution between Matt Hardy and Hangman Adam Page. And if Adam Page wins, he gets all of Matt Hardy's earnings of 2021. And Matt Hardy says if he wins, he gets Hangman's earnings. And he says Hangman is done. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of like this whole Hardy thing right there. But I mean, at least he's sticking to his shtick right now. They shake hands, like, yeah, I'm gonna show you. And then they revealed that the mascot is actually Isaiah Cassidy, and so Private Party and the Hybrid Attack page. The Dark Order comes out to 8 page and clear the ring of Private Party and TH2. And then High dodges a buckshot lariat from Page and escapes just out of the ring. And then Page and Dark Order stare each other down. It was interesting. It was definitely a decent match, right? Obviously, way better than SmackDown and Raw. But I'm not a big fan of Matt Hardy's shtick right now. But at least he really commits to it. So, I mean, gotta applaud him for this. So let's see where this goes. We then had an interview by Mahrez with the Inner Circle. And finally, Santana and Ortiz get a match for the straps. Yeah, and of course, they're going to bring back the gold to the Inner Circle. And MJF says that Sammy has to nut up and apologize to him. Jericho blames MJF now. So some of it is MJF's fault, but most of it is Sammy's fault, of course. So it's like it's not imploding yet. So let's see where this goes. We then have Riho versus Serena Deeb. Good match. That was fun to watch, back and forth. That was cool. That was really fun. If you haven't watched it, yes, great back and forth. Great win for Riho in the end, but it was fun to watch. I liked that. That was cool. It was it was the second good match in this review. It's just a good match where you don't need to look into the shtick or whatever they're doing. You just enjoy the match. Nice. Then we had a video package of Jade Cargill and Shaq training, and Jade training basketball and Shaq just sitting on the sideline, throwing the ball to her, and then Shaq making a free throw. Yeah. Is it a basketball match with Cody? I didn't know that. Okay, then we have the best friends, Orange Cassidy versus Luther. Throwaway match. Cassidy wins, of course. Serpentico came out the loser, but whatever. Orange Punch, 1, 2, 3. That's it. We then had a recap of Sting and Darby versus Team Taz, and then we have Brian Cage, Hook, and Taz being out at Taz, like all talking, of course, like today. You announced that you're going to call out Team Taz. Today we're only 3 because of the weather. That's your chance right now. If you want to call out Sting, come to the ring, Sting. Then Sting comes to the ring, of course, with the bat. Then he's in the ring facing those 3. Taz is like, Sting, you need the bat. The bat is the only thing that protects you. Sting, stupid babyface, throws away the bat, of course, and tries to go after Cage. And then Cage reverses. Hook holds Sting grabs the bat, holds Sting from behind with the bat. Then Cage powerbomb, Sting is dead. I think he's really dead. If you're 50-something and you take a powerbomb like this. Spooky also didn't like WWE, by the way. If you're 50-something and you take a powerbomb like this, then then you're dead. What else? Yeah, we had the tag team championships, the Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz. Of course, this was bound to be a cool match. Not a great match, but a cool match. Back and forth, and you could have thought that maybe Santana and Ortiz actually somehow manage it. Maybe they get like the involvement of the Inner Circle or something. But eventually we see a doomsday device by the Young Bucks on Santana. Then like the powerbomb kick in the corner again. Then a double super kick, of course. Only a 2 count. Because Ortiz breaking the pin. Then we have the BTE trigger. Then we have another breaker by Santana this time. Then we have the Team Street Sweeper, right, for kneel fall. Double power bomb, but into the crowd, and then Nick with an inside cradle, like a fluke victory, so to speak, right? So quick pin, 1, 2, 3, there you go. Young Bucks win. Of course, the Inner Circle then attacks him, obviously. Omega and the Good Brothers then in the backstage said they should help, but Don Callis is like, no, let them. Brandon Cutler comes out, Hager destroys him. Nice, Hager. And then Jericho and MJF have double submissions, and the Bucks tap out. Then the Good Brothers come out to help. Jericho pushes the Young Bucks farther, and then he pushes them back, and then that's it. Nice, I know how to say, like, mess. That just furthers the rift further. That furthers the rift further. The drift bigger, and of course this feud has to continue. We then have FTR versus the Seidels, and FTR. Well, I said it a lot today, but it was also nice back and forth again. So it already shows the amount of back and forth I say in the AEW review compared to all things WWE shows. Those are just more matches here. Just like it's more fun to just watch it. FTR was dominant, I would say, but still it was some nice back and forth in between. And of course, eventually we had the Big Rig and FTR wins. But it was nice. It was nice. Also nice to see like Matt Seidel once in a while, I think. FTR then, because we're now at a point where we have to do WWE stuff. Stop it, really. They get the doctor's medical kits, get scissors to cut Seidel's hair. Lights go out, Luchasaurus on the screen, Jurassic Express in the ring when the lights go back on again. And they attack FTR. And then they send Towel with a new mask for Luchasaurus. Fantastic. Then lastly we had Jon Moxley, Lance Archer, and Rey Fenix versus Eddie Kingston and the Butcher and the Blade. And should I say it? Okay, I say it. Nice back and forth. That was cool. That was, of course, a brutal match. I was about to say not too technical, but it was nice. Not super technical, but still lots of technique in there and lots of like mind games and so on. So, I mean, what do you expect from Archer or Moxley in particular, right? That was great. In the end, we have Moxley, Archer, and Phoenix winning close to the end. So Moxley's in the ring, and then the Butcher and the Blade interfere and try to beat down Moxley, and then Archer and Phoenix try to help, and they somehow get the Butcher and the Blade outside of the ring. And Phoenix climbs up or tries to jump from the ring, but then Archer's like, no, Phoenix, come here. And he walks to Archer. Archer choke slams Phoenix onto the Butcher and the Blade. Then Phoenix holds the Butcher and the Blade. And then Archer with like a rolling senton or something onto them. Or was it just a frog splash? I don't remember. But he was definitely kind of flying for a few seconds through the air onto all three of them, which was kind of fun. So Moxley, Archer, Phoenix win. That was nice. Moxley celebrates. And then, of course, the Good Brothers attack him from behind, hold him down. Omega comes out like, I didn't want to come out, but now I'm here. And you know what I have here? It's a contract. And you know, for the most time until now, when people said Omega is not good with promos, I was like, nah, come on, he's decent. It's not bad. This promo was terrible. It was so lame. Holy crap, it was like WWE material. Kenny, you can do better. I was like, and this is the contract, and you sneak in a rematch clause, so I'm gonna grant you your rematch, but I'm picking the name of the rematch, and it's gonna be an exploding barbed wire match. This stipulation would fit to like a pay-per-view called Great Balls of Fire at WWE. Like, oh my god. Oh. And of course, Moxley, while he's being held by the Good Brothers, he's just headbutts Kenny Omega. So Kenny Omega bleeding like this. Well, of course, all like mad and everything. See, that was cool. Really lame. So I don't know what to make from this, like this exploding. What is an exploding barbed wire match or something? Death match, exploding barbed wire death match. That feels like something a 12-year-old would make up. Like, hey Mikey, you can decide what kind of match you want to see. Exploding barbed wire death match. Yeah, on the Hardy compound with the Fiend in there, and why not? Too much. Other than that, AEW, but definitely had the better wrestling again this week, even with those few setbacks here. Overall, I think Dynamite, the better wrestling show. The best show of the week, take over, and maybe I should start putting NXT in here and get rid of this ridiculous abomination that is Monday Night Raw right now. Let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? What are your favorite wrestling shows right now? Who's your wrestler of the week? What's your catchphrase of the week? And how much do you hate Raw? Other than that, thanks for sticking here with me, being here with me, and I'm looking forward to interacting with all of you. Follow me on everywhere. Stitcher, Google Podcast, YouTube, anywhere you listen to. It's growing right now. Not that much on YouTube yet. I'm assuming people aren't really that into seeing me, which hurts my feelings, but maybe those 3 guys behind me help right now, or I need to have my cat walk through the picture more often. Maybe we get more viewers on YouTube then. But the podcast itself is growing, which I appreciate. So you're awesome if you're listening to this. Looking forward to your comments and your feedback. And well, I was about to say, I can't wait for next week. I kind of can when we look into look into Raw though, but I'm looking forward to sharing my thoughts with you. So until then, stay safe, take care, and take your vitamins.